Hello, my name is David Miller. I'm the manager of Nexus Global Solutions Portfolio and Nexus Global Dynamic, and I'm speaking to you in early October. 9 months down, 3 to go in this fascinating year. Well, it was a tough month for markets. Both bonds and equities fell away for reasons I'll come on to explain. We did our best to protect value. Solutions ended up down about 2.4%, Dynamic down 2.7%. Both remain firmly in positive territory for the year, with Dynamic up 9% plus and Solutions just over 4%. So good real returns over the rate of inflation and a lot better than cash in the bank. So what happened in September? What upset things after really a very good run for markets and investors this year? To an extent, there was an element of profit taking in the short term, but I think more seriously than that, the pace of the global economic recovery has started to slow. Still positive, but not quite as fast as it was. On top of that, we had news from central banks, both the US Federal Reserve and the Bank of England, amongst others, have indicated that we should expect interest rates to start rising by fractions, not a lot, and not immediately, but it is a change of direction, and that was noted by investors. And the final thing that's been very much in the news are energy prices, whether it's petrol shortages in the UK, a lack of natural gas in Europe, not enough water in Brazil or China, the list goes on. But it has driven prices higher. Higher prices for energy will have a knock-on effect on inflation for both consumers and companies alike, and something we need to pay attention to, careful attention to. So that was really, I think, what slightly upset things. But we're not just buying the market, we're picking stocks, we're selecting the right investments. And in a diversified portfolio, or diversified portfolios like this, there are going to be some winners as well as that general downdraft. So good performance from a range of companies to be expected given the oil price rise. BP, Shell, Total all did well. But looking beyond that, in the financial sector, generally good performance. Higher interest rates is better news for banks. Nordea was the top performer. Moving on through the list, Marriott Hotels hit badly last year, but now a reopening beneficiary. And Netflix, which did well last year when everybody was locked up, but continues to do well this year. These were the top performing investments in both portfolios, and good to report that. If you're turning to other matters, Solutions has 56% in equities, and Dynamic 96%, but Solutions is where we have the diversification into other asset classes. As I said, bond markets fell away, but index linked went up, and we have some of that. Also, volatility presents opportunities to some, and the hedge fund strategies that we've invested in didn't do too badly, whilst everyone else was struggling. That's why we have this range of assets in the Solutions portfolio. It's not about everything working all the time, but having investments which are counter-cyclical or counteract some of the volatility is what we're aiming to achieve. So that's where we are, but looking forward, there are reasons to be optimistic. To start with, the global economy is still growing. Tick in the box. Secondly, short-term problems, things like the US debt ceiling negotiations. Who can guess where Washington politics will take us next? But there's a reasonable chance that an agreement will be reached in the weeks ahead. And finally, we've got the company results season coming along, where we'll hear from the companies that we're invested in exactly how things have been for them, what's working, what isn't. But that real information, that real news tends to settle market nerves. It has done in previous quarters, and I think it may well do so again. So that's where we are at the moment. We're focused on longer term growth, but with a wary eye on risks as well in order to try and smooth out that return. But essentially, as I said, invested to achieve long-term growth for investors in both solutions and dynamic. So I hope that's been a useful update. I look forward to reporting to you again in a month's time. Thank you.